Hello and welcome to the Wyoming Knits YouTube channel. My name is Jenny Lee and this is my channel where I like to talk about all things knitting. Today is Sunday, May 26th, 2024, and this is episode 42. Today I'm coming to you from Southwest Wyoming, where I live with my husband, our daughter, and our little Yorkie, Dax. You can find me on Instagram as Jenny Lee Knits, and you can find me on Ravelry as Jenny Lee S Knits. I want to say thank you to anyone who is watching today. Thank you for stopping by. If you've been here for a while, thank you for checking me out. If this is the first time you've been here, be sure to leave a comment or hit the like button to show YouTube that you like content like this, and let's get into the knitting. So, over the last few weeks, you've heard me talk about my daughter's Cozy Comfort throw, and it is finished. So let's talk about finished objects. Okay, last time you were here, I was right here. I had ran out of the Stroll Bear Glimmer, so I put in an order to a chick that knits and got her Purl Sparkle. And it was a really close match. It's a little yellower than the bear, but I don't think you can tell the difference. So I was right here. I finished off this red with the gray, then I went into purple, then I had this color right here, and then this is like a bluey gray, and then I chose some Yarn Cafe creations I had in stash, dried rose petals, and did the I-cord bind off, and I did the I-cord all the way around. This is only the second I-cord border that I have done and applied I-cord on, and so I don't think it's as tidy as it could be, but we're gonna go with it. Like that spot, I think you can see where it sticks up a little, but it's done, it's finished, it's cozy. I will put in a picture over here, and that's what it looks like all laid out with all the colors. So this is finished and done. She is so excited. So I got this on Thursday or Friday. I think I got it Friday after school. Either Thursday or Friday after school it showed up. And I worked on it. I think Thursday I did, let's see, where's the top? That's the bottom. Thursday I did the rest of the red, started the purple. Friday I finished the purple, added in this one, and then it was bedtime, and then Saturday I finished this one and started the I-cord, and I finished the I-cord this morning. I started the I-cord bind off at 7:30 last night. I checked the clock to see, and by 9 o'clock I was only about halfway done, and so I had to finish the rest this morning. So she is very excited to have that done. I'm going to take my stitch marker off, and I don't think I'm going to block this or anything yet. She is ready to have it. It is nice and thick and cozy and warm, and I think she's going to love it. So this is probably the third blanket that I've made for her, third or fourth blanket that I've made for her. I finished one for her last year. I did the painting bricks blanket for her last year, and the cozy comfort throw for her this year. So we'll have to see what I'm going to make for her next year. So let's throw this over on the chair and talk about everything else that I worked on this week. So last Sunday I recorded. So I worked on, as I was editing, I worked on my DK Jelly Roll blanket. So I'll grab that. Where did it go? I had it over on the other side of the table. So I worked on my DK Jelly Roll blanket. Let's see. I was right here last time. I bound off and started the next column, and I have made it that far. So I stood up and I measured this, and then it was really close to being like at my face somewhere, and I knew I wanted it to go from my toes at least up to here, and so it was about here maybe. So I finished off what I had left, bound off, and started the next row. And I am doing the join that Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady does. I just went to her Ravelry project page and read the instructions for the join. I am loving this. I was surprised that it really does not take that long to make this much progress. And then once you've done a couple little joins here, you don't really have to think about it anymore. You just kind of know what you're doing, and you just go, and then you turn around and get to the next thing you know, you're at the end, and you turn around and then you do your join, and it flies by. So let's move this little dragon. I got this from Dragon Horde Yarn a couple years ago. I think I might have even got it the last time I went to the Great Basin Fiber Arts Fair. So we'll move this one to the second column. And we're ready to go. This I'm using all of my leftover Felici socks, scraps, and it's in a By the Bay Bag Co. I will link this shop below. She doesn't have any canvas bags right now. She does have some other bags. I think she is revamping her canvas bags, and there's a little note on there that says what's going on. But I have that in here for now. As it gets bigger, I'm going to have to transfer it. So let's talk about sweaters. The one I've been working on that you've seen a lot is the daily pullover. I'm not sure if I added anything this week, but we'll check. I did. I just put a couple more rows on. This is the daily pullover by Purl Soho. This is the back. It's got a V-neck front, and I'm using Linen Quill by Purl Soho, and I think it's Lychee pink, and I'm still on the first ball. I think there's strings from a second one. There we go. The first one. My ball's falling apart. There we go. And this is in my cute little Red Lady Creates bag. It's perfect for a 3-skein project or even just a sock project. It's got snaps, a little wrist holder so you can hold it and knit. I'm pretty sure I will be taking this on our next field trip. We have one last field trip before the end of the year. We're off Monday. Then we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then school's out for summer. Yay! I get to knit whenever I want to. The next one I worked on is in my Yarn is My Love Language bag that I got from Yarnable last February. I think February 2023. And I am working on the Totally Tubular Turtleneck. Last time I showed it, I was on the body. I had made some good progress on the body, and then I had set it down and not worked on it for a week. And while I was waiting for this yarn to get here, I was like, well, I'll just work on my turtleneck. I'll pull it out. I'll see how much is left on the body that I gotta do. And I measured it, and I had like 1 more inch left on the body. 1 or 2 before it was time to do the ribbing. And I was like, okay, why did I even put it down? So I was right here last time. I finished the ribbing, I bound off, and picked up a sleeve. So that's what I needed. I needed that much more before the ribbing. And I had just set it down and didn't pick it up for a whole week. So this is the back, this is the front. I did try it on. When I tried it on, it does go, it hits like the top of my jeans. And then I did fold this over double. I tried it on, I put it on, try it on tubing, tried it on with just my tank top on. It is so comfy. It is not scratchy at all. So I am super excited to have this done. I'm going to move my little stitch marker so we can see how much progress I make this week. I want to get as much as I can done. This will be an after school project while I'm after dinner, after school, while we watch TV. So this is the totally tubular turtleneck by Park&Knit, who is Park Williams on Ravelry. So those are the sweaters that I worked on. And so now let's talk about some socks and summer sock camp. So summer sock camp is just a knit along hosted by Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady. It's over on her Ravelry groups page. There's a thread for chatter where you just talk about the socks and post pictures of your works in progress. And then there's an FO thread where you post your finished objects. This year, summer sock camp started Friday, the 24th, and goes until August 31st, and you just knit or crochet a pair of socks and post them. There's no fees, there's no entry, there's no sign-ups, there's no nothing. Just post them on Ravelry or Instagram. I think you use the hashtag SummerSockCamp2024. I'll put it here. And you just make socks all summer. And so we make socks and talk about socks and post all of our socks. So I showed you last week the box I had created with all the yarn that I had potentially wanted to use for summer sock camp. I got my bag and I started putting bags in here. And so let's talk about the socks that I've been working on and then the socks that I'm thinking about working on. I have 2 pairs that I worked on this week. I'm still working on my Picks Felici socks. I have 4 more days to get these finished. If I sat down today, I could finish them today before I go to bed. So last time I was working on this sock, I was right here. I got hair all over. I was right here. I needed a little bit more and then put in the toe. These are the second breakfast socks by Sock Witchery. And here are my markers, marking every 10 rounds, so you can probably guess where I'm at on the second sock. I am through the heel flap, the gusset decreases. I just finished the gusset decreases last night. I worked on this while I was making dinner instead of working on my daughter's blanket because I could pick this up and put it down every time I had to get up and go stir or check or flip something. And so I worked on this while I was making dinner. And that's as far as I got before I sat back down and worked on my daughter's blanket. So I have my markers. I like to mark every 10 rounds. For these ones, I used a German twisted cast on. I cast on 64 stitches. I did a 2x2 cuff for 20 rounds. And then I did the second breakfast pattern for 70 rounds. I did my heel flap, my heel turn, and then I will just keep knitting until I use all of these. It looks like I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and a few more. If it's not quite 10 more, I like to use a different color so I can count when I get to here. I count how many more I need. I think this one is 6 or 8, I can't remember. But when I get there, I'll count those and then I'll get to here count those and then do that, and then I'll put in the toe. I might be playing a little bit of yarn chicken on the toe because this is all I have left. We'll see how far this gets us. If it gets all the way through the toe, great. If not, I'll have to come up with another plan to finish out the rest of the toe. So that is the first sock I'm working on for summer sock camp. And I would like to have these finished before the end of May. It's living in my Fancy Boy Designs bag. And then the second sock I worked on this week, we had kind of a crazy week at school. We had field day scheduled for Tuesday, but Tuesday we looked at the weather and it was supposed to be rainy and cloudy and cold and windy all day, so we moved field day to Wednesday. Wednesday was still windy and cold. It was about 50 something degrees with 10 mile an hour, 15 mile an hour winds, like all day long. So we went over to the high school and we did all of our track and field things outside. It didn't rain on us, but it was overcast and there was more clouds. So I wore my big coat, and the kids ran around. I don't think any of them wore shorts, but we did say the day before that it was going to be cold, so do not dress like summer, dress like winter in Wyoming. And then the next day we had a field trip out of town at a ranch, and it was 46 degrees with 30 mile an hour winds. I was so cold the whole time I was there. I had my winter coat on, my gloves, my hat, and it was so much fun though. The kids had a blast. We got to learn about different things that they do on the ranch and how ranches help our community and what things they do on the ranch. And we got to learn a little bit of history of cowboys in our area, and so that was pretty nice. But I wanted something to work on the bus, so I got out my little Knit for Brains bag with a yarn that I had put in for summer sock camp, and I had chosen my Fruits yarn by Premier. I think this is, Premier Yarns, and this is the watermelon socks. This is, I want to say, 93% acrylic, 7% PBT. I don't know what that is. It's 50 grams for each one. And I started a watermelon sock. I wanted to have something to work on the bus as we were driving out of town. My students were so excited. There was a knot in this and I had to cut it, and at least one time I had to cut it, if not two. It looks like just one. My Felici ones I also had to cut because there was a knot in that. But there's these. Let's see if we can get that tail out of the way. I worked on these. I was going to work on these as we walked around the ranch and learned and went to all the stations, but I was wearing my gloves, so I was not able to knit on these. These will probably come on our next field trip. We get to go to Salt Lake to the aquarium, and so as we're walking around learning about all of the things at the aquarium, I can sit and knit while we walk around, and I can pay attention to everything else that's going on around me as I just work through some vanilla socks. So I have to have some vanilla ones, because if I have a pattern one, I will have to look down and check and look down and check and see which stitch I am on. So I will be working on these this week. And those are the only 2 socks that I worked on. I really wanted to get that blanket done for my daughter. So let's talk about all of the things. Oh, one more thing. I totally forgot. After I got everything edited last week, I had this bag sitting next to me on the floor, calling out to me, I have yarn, I have yarn, I'm ready, I'm ready. And I have 3 cakes of Teal Torch knits that I got. This is the Dancing on Top of Cars color. And it is this beautiful peachy orange color with some speckles, some dark pink, some orange, some yellow. And I had been looking at a pattern for a while that I wanted to make. I had seen it on Cozy Up Knits, and they usually pull it out every spring, and one of them is wearing it. So I cast on the Maema cardigan by Pip and Pin. It has this honeycomb brioche on the back, and I was like, I have only done brioche in one project, and that was the Shawlography Mystery Knit Along by Stephen West, and I want to say that was in 2022. No, it was in 2021, because I did the Twists and Turns in 2022. I didn't do the 2023 knit along, so it had to be in 2021. And that was the last time I had even attempted brioche. I did okay. I had dropped a stitch or something, and I don't know how to fix that without tinking all the way back. And so I have been doing half fisherman's rib, which is kind of like brioche, but you don't do all of the steps. So I was like, okay, let's see what this pattern says. Let's see if I can do this stitch. So I cast on. I did the cast on, and you start right here. You have a couple of stitches for the front, you have the sleeves, you have the back stitches, the sleeves, and then a couple more stitches for the front, and you increase. So I cast on. I did what row 1 said, what row 2 said, what row 3 said, what row 4 said, and I was waiting for the brioche to get more complicated. It's not complicated. So this stitch in brioche, on one side you slip the stitch with a yarn over, so it looks like 2 stitches. So here's one stitch, here's with the yarn over, and here's the next stitch. On the way back, you knit this stitch, you knit this stitch together, you knit this stitch, you knit this stitch together. That's how complicated it is. Slip one yarn over and knit. So If you are feeling like this pattern might be a little too complicated for you, it's really not. Just try it. And so far, it has been easy. It has been fun to work on. The only reason I put it down was to work on my daughter's blanket. And so I'm thinking that this should be finished within the first couple of weeks of summer. So if this is intimidating you, don't let it. This is an easy repeat. You don't have to keep track of 2 colors. You just have to make sure you're slipping with the yarn over and then knitting those together on the next row. In the pattern, it does say BRK, brioche knit. So brioche knit is knitting those 2 stitches together. And so when it says BRK, you knit those 2 stitches together, then you knit, then you BRK, then you knit. So, easy to read, easy to follow. If you want to start one of these, I say go for it. It is a lot simpler than I thought it was going to be. So I have three of these ready to go inside this bag, and I am so excited to work on this again this week. So I have my cute little dragon stitch stoppers that I got from Yarn Dragon Fibers. This is one of the yarns that I want to do for summer sock camp, and so this will be coming back into rotation. I'm not sure who made this bag. I think it might be Lila Styles, but I'm not exactly sure. But it's got all the cute cartoons from when I was younger. I love this bag. And I thought this bright yarn would be a good fit in this bag. So that's everything I've worked on this week. I have not picked up these socks this week. This is in a Mountain State Stitches bag. She did do a shop update, but she might be sold out again. Lots of people are getting bags for summer sock camp. This is my Minecraft socks. And I didn't make any progress on those. This is a June 2022 Yarnable Straighten Your Crown. So that's a summer sock camp sock I want to work on. So what I have in this bag so far, I started these socks, I want to say 3 years ago. These are the TGIS socks. They are a cabled sock. I'll put in a picture. And this is how far I've got. I think I'm still working on the cuff. I started these for summer sock camp 2021 or 2022. Maybe 2022. And I'm using Zen Yarn Garden yarn. Their website is still up. I don't know how much yarn is available, but their website is still up. you can go over there and check out and see what they have. I have my other Knit for Brains bag that I have some yarn in. I have, this is a bamboo pop sock. So I think I'm going to do a pair of socks for me. I'm not sure. This is 55% bamboo, 37% cotton, and 8% PBT. So I'm thinking maybe I will do some shorty socks. So this is how it should work up. I might do some shorty socks for summer for me for this one. And then I have this bag that I got from Happy Mermaid Yarn Co. I have some Barocco sock in there. I was thinking about it. I have lots of self-striping yarn that I want to work through, that I want, I think I've decided that I am not a self-striping girl. I love variegated yarn, I love speckled yarn, I love tonal yarn. So I want to work through a lot of my self-striping yarn and get that down to only a couple of skeins of that. So I put this in here, so I might work on it. I was like, yep, that'll be a plan. We'll put it in here, we'll work on it. And now I am second guessing whether or not I want to work on it, or if I just want to work on stuff that makes me happy all summer. So we'll see if that one gets done. I have an empty bag, an empty Scooby-Doo bag. This is by Molly Klein Designs. Let's see, cover my face. Then I have to put yarn in. I have another Red's Lady Creates bag. I have my frog bag from my Needle Crafts that I have to put yarn in. I have this cute little feather bag that I forget who made this one. I will link it below. I will link the shop in the description. So I have those bags that are ready to get some yarn wound up and put in there. I'm not sure. I haven't cast on for summer sock camp yet, and it's the third day. So I'm getting a little antsy, but I do want to finish some things. We'll see what happens today. Keep an eye on my Instagram stories, and I will update you there on whether or not I cast something on today or tomorrow. I have tomorrow off for Memorial Day. I don't have school tomorrow. And then when I was at the Great Basin Fiber Arts Fair, I talked to Alaska of Simple Yarn, and I asked her if she had some yarn. I love this color. This is her Bruno color from her Encanto series. And I wanted 6 skeins and she only had 5 while I was there. So I did an order through Etsy on her shop, and I got all 6 skeins this week. I am so excited to make another cardigan with this. I think I want to make another rusket cardigan or a field day cardigan. I haven't decided yet, but I love this color. I also have 1 skein of this probably right behind me, right there, on 75/25 sock yarn. So I am excited to get that and just have an extra day to knit. And then on Friday is my last day of school for the summer. I'm off till about mid-August. So I think after next week you will see a lot more knitting, a lot more socks. I'm hoping to have some more sweaters finished. I want to finish my Straya cardigan. I want to finish my daily pullover, my turtleneck, my Maema, and then I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 more sweater quantities that I want to work on this year. We'll see if they get worked on this summer or not. So until next time, check out my Instagram feed and I will see you in a week. Happy knitting!